Over the course of the year, I have done quite a lot of hiring and have dealt with different applicants. So I want to share with you the most updated job application and interview tips that I have learned as well as a recruiter and as a hiring officer. I'm not a recruiter or a hiring manager by profession, by the way, but because I have held senior roles, I am kind of required to do hiring for my team, for example. And these are just some of the things that I have noticed that I'm sure will also be able to help you in your job application. So the first one is for video and virtual interview. This is like a question of whether you need to turn on your camera or turn off your camera. What I would say is that for virtual interview, like if you know you were given a heads up that it is a video or virtual interview, then it is best to turn on your camera to better establish personal connection with your interviewer, recruiter, or whoever is interviewing you. It's just the connection hits different when you are seeing the person talking to you and when the interviewer can see you as well. There's just a different kind of vibe when that happens compared to let's say an audio interview or like the interviewer has his or her camera turned on, but yours is not turned on, which is kind of weird, I would say. I know I said this previously, but my very first interview when I was still in college was when my camera was turned on, but then my interviewer's camera was turned off, which I found so weird and awkward. So again, I'm saying this because I do personally think that it can help increase your chances of getting hired because the interviewer will see, your demeanor, your pleasant personality. And I'm speaking from personal experience of interviewing 4 people for the same role. There was this one applicant who did not turn on her camera, and I felt like it greatly affected the conversation or the connection. So even though she knew that it was going to be a video interview, she chose not to turn on her camera for some reasons. It is basically her choice to do so. And it's just that when we had that conversation, we just did not feel the connection because we could not see her. So she was not hired, and we hired all 3 of the people who actually had their camera on, not because of the sole reason that their camera was on, but it's because of the connection that was built and established during the conversation. So just imagine hiring someone you've not seen, right? It's different when you actually see the person. So think of it as a face-to-face interview, but only online, or you just have your camera on. So that's one. Number 2 is, for the love of God, convert your resume to PDF. I'm not going to tell you how to convert it to PDF because you can just Google that. But basically, a PDF is a file wherein it's more seamless, it's cleaner, the text and the formatting are both like intact compared to when you are using a Word file where it can change depending on who opens it and what type of device is used to open it. It's just so clunky if you use Word file. You can also use a Canva template for your resume, by the way, because it's pretty much just like a PDF. Now, I'm saying this, it's a small thing. It's a really small thing, but recruiters are so busy that they will not have so much time to figure out the formatting of your resume. If you submit a Word document and they open it on their computer and everything's clunky, everything is like not put together, they will probably not give you the time of day. They will just put it aside and go for the person who has a clean and seamless resume. They only have a few seconds to look at these things, right? If they can't find what they're looking for, then you might not make the cut. Now, there's always this talk about like using AI or ATS to determine the person who is most fit for the job, like for keywords on that particular resume, so on and so forth. That's true for a lot of like bigger companies, but for recruiters who don't have that kind of technology or system, and they will have to look at your resume manually. All right. Now, if the job is a post on social media, on Facebook for the most part, or on LinkedIn, please just follow the instructions. Do not ask the poster or the person who posted if you're qualified or not. Because I've experienced this. I posted something on social media and a lot of people will comment and ask, am I qualified? Can I apply? Blah, blah, blah. Truth be told, I do not know. The person does not know if you're qualified or not. You are the only person who will know at the moment if you are. So don't waste any more time by commenting that. If you know you're qualified or if you know you can do the job, submit your resume right away. And please follow instructions. If the post says email your resume to this email address, do so right away. And don't DM the person and say, can I apply? Can I submit my resume? Just send your resume and follow the instructions because you're just wasting precious seconds. That's, again, based on experience, okay? Now, the next thing, speaking of resume, always have an updated resume with proper formatting. The least you can do is to highlight which job or experience is related to the role you are applying for, right? For example, if you're applying as an accounting manager, but your resume states that your last job experience is a customer support specialist, then there's a disconnect. Like, how am I going to know if you're qualified for the role I'm looking for if I can't see it on your experience or on your resume? So say something about your personal experience or skills if you're, let's say, an entry-level applicant. If you have a bit of experience in the role, then put it on your resume, highlight it there, right? Because again, recruiters don't have that much precious time to go through your entire resume. They will just skim it. So they're going to look for keywords on your resume that will fit the job or the role they're looking for. Next, time is of the essence. So hurry up, girl. Sometimes, you're wondering why you're not getting hired. Maybe it's not you. Time is your biggest competitor. So you never know, the company might be badly looking for someone right away that they just really want to hire the first person that they are going to find or the first person who are going to submit the resume. So if you're not acting with urgency, you're commenting, you're DMing instead of just sending your resume right away to the email, then again, you might not make the cut because the person who sent their resume first will get noticed first before you. So if you need a job right away, go ahead and send that resume right away because it's possible that the first person who submitted the resume has the same background and experience as you are, but you're just a little bit, just a few seconds late of submitting your resume. So again, time is of the essence. Go ahead, submit that resume. Be prepared. Now, read the job description properly. We know it's super long and it's super detailed, but that's for a reason. You will save both your and your recruiter's time if you know what you're getting into. If you know that it's too far out from your experience, then why are you going to apply? On the other hand, if you are unsure because of what you've read on the job description, you can always message the recruiter to ask questions. But again, make it quick, all right? Make sure your question is not already answered by the job post or the job description. And last but not the least, make note of all the companies that you applied in. The last thing you want to do is to not remember the company if they call you. Because I have some people asking, like, who is this and what company is this? Even though I've already mentioned to them that I'm calling from this company, right? So write it down. You don't want to be embarrassed because you don't remember the company that you actually applied in or where you actually submitted your application. Okay. So those are some of the things that I wanted to share with you in terms of job application and interview tips. I have so many videos about job application interview tips. Name it, you have it. I'm going to link all the playlists in the description box below. Go ahead and check it out. And I wish you all the best in your job application this year and next year. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment below, let me know, or message me on Instagram. And yeah, I'll be glad to help.